Hello, I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, regular contributor for Buddhistdoor Global. Thank you for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's talk is Non-Attachment and Lightning Bugs. Before we get into that, I'll remind you to subscribe with the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. Also, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. When I was a child, one of our favorite things to do during the summer was to go out and look at the lightning bugs. Lightning bugs, sometimes called fireflies, depending on what part of the country you're from, are tiny beetles who emit light from their thorax. And they do this in various patterns in order to attract mates. They're very pleasant to look at, and like a child, which I was at the time, I wanted to keep all that beauty for myself. So sometimes I would go out with my friends and I'd capture all the lightning bugs in jars and take them inside as a sort of nightlight for the evening. Much to my dismay, however, I often woke up to find out that all the bugs I'd placed in the jar had died, which wasn't my intent. Also, other times I tried to catch the bugs with my hands, but each time I grabbed them, I'd open my hands, and occasionally I'd find that I'd crushed them by mistake. This made me sad because obviously it wasn't my intent to kill the lightning bugs. I simply wanted to enjoy their light more often. It quickly became obvious to me that the best way to enjoy the lightning bugs was to simply leave them alone. I would watch them from my front yard or my backyard with my friends, counting the number of times their light flashed in the evening, tracing their flights through the air. But I never caught them in jars or with my hands, which was better for the lightning bugs and for my conscience. I didn't realize it at the time, but what I was practicing was something that in Buddhism we call non-attachment. Now, non-attachment is an important part of Buddhist practice because we are taught that this entire world is an illusion, meaning that it is impermanent and constantly changing. The more we try to hold on to things, the more we suffer because they never stay the way they are. We want to keep our youth, but we get older. We want our friends and family to live forever, but eventually they die. And this is all a natural part of life, but the more we try to keep things the way they are, the more attached we are, the more pain we endure, and the more pain we inflict on others. Now that said, we don't practice detachment in Buddhism either. We don't pull back completely from the world. We practice the middle way of non-attachment. We interact with things, but we do it without holding on to them. This is what I had to learn to do with the lightning bugs in my youth. I wasn't detached. I didn't turn away from them completely. But at the same time, I wasn't attached. I stopped trying to capture them in jars or with my hands. Instead, I noticed their beauty, enjoyed it, and let it go when it was gone. This works with lightning bugs. It also works with everything in life, be it our body, be it our friends and families, be it our jobs, our household plants. If we interact with these things using the middle way taught by the Buddha, the way of non-attachment, holding on to things with open hands, seeing them but not trying to control them, we will create a happier and more content life, both for ourselves and for other people. Amitabha.